I have a tip for all you ladies out there who are going to parties, college, whatever. You're going out this weekend, you're dressing up. Do not, and I repeat, do not base your costume on whether your boyfriend is going to get mad at you or not. Wearing a costume that shows a lot of skin is not cheating on your boyfriend, okay? What the fuck? Wear whatever you want, and if he doesn't like it, he's insecure and you should dump his ass, okay? So enjoy your weekend, wear whatever you want, and have fun.
Showing off lots of skin, dressing really slutty when you go out to parties. That's empowering. You know what isn't empowering is caring about what your boyfriend thinks about your choices. You know, boys are dumb and gross. Ignoring the impact of your choices on your boyfriend. That's what's cool. Because, of course, the only possible explanation for why your boyfriend might have an opinion on how you're dressing is because he's insecure. He's basically accusing you of cheating. So if your boyfriend even notices what you're wearing, dump him. Because as a woman, you shouldn't have to deal with men having emotions. You shouldn't have to be accountable for your actions. Are we reaching the limits of female entitlement here? I mean, surely this must be the limit here. You can't really go further. As a woman, I can do whatever I want. I can dress however I want. And any objection from a man is automatically his insecurities. And the mere suggestion that I, his girlfriend, should consider my boyfriend's feelings, that is sexist. That warrants a condescending lecture. Unfortunately, the woman in this clip is not alone. All across the world, there are women in relationships who go out to clubs and parties and they're dressing really slutty. They're showing off lots of skin. And if their boyfriend expresses any concerns about the choices that she is making, then he is labeled as controlling, sexist, and insecure. Now, in case you are worried that any of those accusations actually have merit, like they're legitimate anyway, let me be absolutely clear. Men, you have every right to comment on the clothing choices of your girlfriend. Do not let her shame you into silence as though your thoughts, your feelings, your opinions don't matter. They do. Let me explain to you why women who react in this way are wrong. But first, let me tell you about the company that has made this video possible, Tiege Hanley. These guys make skincare products for men. The products are fantastic. I use them. I love them. Their system is so simple. You just follow the instructions and they provide this whole skincare routine for you. You've got the AM cream in the morning. You've got the daily face wash. You've got the exfoliating scrub. You use it a couple of times a week to get all the, the dirt and the dead skin cells off your face. You've got the PM cream in the evening so your face stays moisturized throughout the evening. The starter pack is just $30 and they have free shipping inside the United States. This product is really popular. They have over 5,000 reviews on their site for this particular product and the reviews are overwhelmingly positive. Like, check these out. Every product feels good together. Simply amazing. Where were you guys when I was going through puberty? Great product, easy to follow the system. I do notice my age spots are getting lighter. It does make my face feel fresh, especially after the face and scrub wash. Simple, concise instructions and labels. My face looks better in the mirrors and photos now. This is not a risk. This is a high quality, high value product that is affordable, easy to use, and highly reviewed by customers. And because Tiege Hanley is sponsoring this video that you're watching, they're offering my viewers a great deal. Just click the first link in the description box below, and not only are you going to get Tiege Hanley at the best possible price, but they're going to give you a free gift with your first purchase. So click that link and get started today for just $30. Okay, back to the women who don't like when their boyfriends comment on their clothing choices. First of all, men, do not fall victim to this ridiculous idea that objecting to your girlfriend dressing really slutty and showing off lots of skin is somehow you being insecure, as though your objections could only come from a place of low self-esteem. It is, of course, the exact opposite. A man who is secure in himself, who has high self-esteem, standards due to his confidence in his worth, he thinks, well, I'm a man of high value. A woman who is privileged enough to have the role of my girlfriend is only going to get that position if she is of comparable quality and she makes choices that align with my value system. So when he sees his girlfriend dressing slutty and showing off lots of skin and he says, hey, like I have some concerns, can we please talk about this? That is his high self-esteem talking. That's him asserting his values, his standards. That's not him being insecure. You want to know what actual insecurity looks like? It's having no standards. Letting your girlfriend do whatever she wants, to dress however she wants, because you have such low self-esteem that you are terrified to assert your rights in the relationship in any way, because you think that if you stand up for yourself, then she will leave you, because you have such low value that you're going to be left alone forever. So don't buy into this "you're just insecure" nonsense. That is a deflection. She is entitled. She calls you insecure because she wants to get her way. In fact, she wants it so bad that she is willing to shame you, to gaslight you, to manipulate you into thinking that there is something wrong with you, just so that the focus is off her. So many women seem genuinely incapable of not making every situation about them, particularly when it comes to men expressing themselves, their emotions, their values. A lot of women can't even seem to be able to hear that, possibly because they've never considered men as actual humans before with their own preferences and emotions. And because they're women, they're so used to getting their way. Like in this example, a man says, I am not comfortable with my girlfriend dressing in that way and showing off all that skin. That is a statement about him and his preferences. But what does she hear? She hears him trying to control her. She always makes it about her, you see? And yet, ironically, as self-involved as she is, there is no corresponding self-awareness. You see, she is unable to accurately diagnose the true source of the emotions present in that situation. She accuses him of being insecure when it is actually her that is insecure. She's just projecting her own emotions onto him. Of course, it is her that is insecure. That is not a controversial diagnosis. Why else would she be dressing so slutty, looking for cheap validation, looking for cheap attention from men, appealing to their sexual instincts? Everything about her clothing choices proves how insecure she is. And her feeling of insecurity doubles because he notices, because he comments on it. It brings all of those emotions to the surface, and now she can't hide from it. She has to deal with it, but she's not going to take ownership of that feeling of shame. Now, perhaps she's one of those women that believes that feminism means that as a woman, she should never have to feel shame about anything she does. And so she projects it back on you. You see, she tries to make you feel ashamed about yourself for simply drawing attention to something obvious about her, which is that dressing slutty is not her practicing genuine feminism. It's not self-empowerment. It's not an expression of high self-esteem. It is a cheap ego boost, and it is a ploy for male attention by appealing to their sexual instincts. Sure, women could impress men with her intelligence, her creativity. That would give her lots of attention. She could display her keen sense of wit, her kindness, her femininity, her sense of humor. All of those traits, when on display, would give her attention, would give her a self-esteem boost, but they also take a lot of effort. And that's the problem. It's an easier way for a woman to get attention than jumping through all those hoops. An easier way for her to feel desirable about herself, to feel good. It's to show off a bunch of skin. When she's dressing really slutty, she makes men think of sex when they see her, of course. And so obviously they pay lots of attention to her because they falsely believe that they might have a chance to sleep with her. All she has to do is wear a low-cut top and a short skirt, and she's going to feel good about herself because every guy is paying her attention. All the guys are chatting her up, They can't take their eyes off her. Gee, I wonder why her boyfriend might have an issue with this. It's almost as though he doesn't want her to boost her self-esteem in that way. He wants to think more highly of her, and that it is disrespectful to him and their relationship for her to be showing off so much skin to all these other men, making other men think that they have a chance to sleep with her. You see, women who think like this, they have no interest in developing empathy for men, of trying to understand how all of this might feel for him. To watch his girlfriend's body get examined by every guy at the party, to watch her get hit on again and again and again because of the obvious DTF vibes that she's giving out. Only men with a cuckold fetish wouldn't have an issue with that. Any normal man would know that this is weird, that this is inappropriate for his girlfriend to be dressing and acting in that way. Sex is something special between the two of them. Seeing her skin, seeing her naked, that is a privilege reserved for him because he's in a relationship with her. He has earned that privilege. But if any guy can see her body and check out her skin, then he is a chump for putting in so much effort to obtain this privilege when in truth, a bunch of other guys are getting it for free. But like I said, most women have an empathy block. They don't spend any time considering how a man feels, and they're very reluctant to begin that process. But if you want your girlfriend to understand how this might feel as a man, as her boyfriend, the best way for you to explain this to women is to ask them to imagine how it might feel to have the roles reversed with a gender equivalent. So ask her to imagine what it would feel like if you were doing lots of favors for other women, fixing things for her around the house, driving her to the airport, buying her gifts, spending money on, these other women, just being there for them emotionally. Ask her, how would she feel as your girlfriend if you started doing all of that stuff? It would be weird, right? She knows that it would be weird because it's the kind of behavior that is usually reserved for intimate romantic relationships. And here you are just giving it out for free to any girl that comes along, whether you're in a relationship with them or not. But here comes the double standard, okay? Because imagine in that situation, if she brought up a concern about your behavior, she says something like, wow, you're spending more money buying gifts for these other women. Can we talk about that? That might be a bit of an issue for me. What if his response was, what are you, insecure? And imagine she had to listen to some condescending lecture about how controlling she is being. What would you call his response? Manipulation? Gaslighting? Abuse? Well, guess what? This is just the gender equivalent. And just because it is a woman doing it in this original example, that doesn't change what it fundamentally is. If a man worries that his girlfriend is dressing very slutty when she goes out and he raises concerns about that, and her response is to shame him, calling him insecure, that is manipulation, that is gaslighting, that is abuse. As a man, you have every right to comment on your girlfriend's clothing. Quite frankly, the suggestion that you, as a man, shouldn't have an opinion, that's sexist. But it is always worthwhile remembering that women do not like to feel judged or controlled. And so if you want to achieve results, you need to be smart about this, especially because there are some genuinely controlling, abusive men who, instead of having a rational conversation about values and emotions, when she dresses provocatively, he just yells at her and calls her a whore until she dresses clothes. And so if your girlfriend has dated one of these losers, then she might be sensitive to criticism or the feelings of being controlled, and that's understandable. And remember, it's also subjective as to what clothing actually constitutes being too revealing, too provocative. Slutty is a subjective value, and it's subject to your own preferences. So you need to have a conversation about that. This stuff is nuanced, of course. I'm just saying, be smart, okay? If you want to get a good reception from your girlfriend, you have to take the time to demonstrate to her that you are different. So you don't make this about her. It's not about controlling her. You're talking about yourself. Invite her to empathize with you and your feelings, your emotions. And my hope is that through that conversation, the two of you will get to know each other better and you'll grow closer as a result, and the issue will cease to be of any concern. Obviously, it's not good to be around somebody who's perpetually negative, someone who's always complaining or has a victimhood complex. But is it problematic if somebody is too positive as well? They never see the bad signs of life. Their attitude is just think positive things and then positive things will happen. Is that toxic in itself, just in a different way? My opinion is yes, but with a few caveats. Anyway, this is the topic of my latest Patreon video. Really interesting video. If you want to see that, then please go and sign up on my Patreon. It's just a $5 a month subscription. You get to see that video instantly, plus all the other videos in my back catalog. I think the value is just tremendous. I cover so many topics on my Patreon. It's where I go into like a lot of depth on this kind of stuff. If you like my work, you want to see more, please head over to my Patreon. It's a hidden treasure mine. That's not that hidden because I mention it every video, but still, come sign up.